If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and bell icon for more videos. Peace out, guys. Hey guys, I'm Monkey back here for the video, guys. Welcome back to another prediction video. This will be for Week 4 Team of the Week. Real fast, PJ SASKO gave his opinion on who he thinks he's going to get Team of the Week card. He said he thinks the Masters will be Zeke Elliott and Jadeveon Clowney. He also said that he thought Aaron Rodgers would get a Team of the Week, Ryan Shazier, Todd Gurley, Michael Thomas, Cameron Jordan, and Jordan Hicks. So that's who he personally thinks will be Team of the Week players. Now, with that in mind, great opinion there. Definitely agree with most of those players. Nonetheless, though, we will be looking at the games like we always do. And this is not only just Team of the Week video, obviously, because we're also breaking down the wins and losses of these NFL games. So it's kind of like an NFL total, game preview or a game overview with the Team of the Week predictions. So with that in mind, let's start off with the Thursday night game. Green Bay Packers versus Chicago Bears. The hit, you guys tell me down below what you guys think, but the hit that Danny Trevathan did on Devontae Adams, I would 100% think was wrong, and in no way was that an NFL hit. But that's just my personal opinion. Tell me down below what you guys think. But when that hit first happened, I was really like, what the heck? Because if the game was flipped, right, and it was 35-14 Bears, he doesn't do that hit. And I think that's what you have to look at when it comes to that hit Trevathan did on Adams. If the script is reversed, he doesn't do that hit. And that's why I think the hit was wrong, because if he doesn't, if it's reversed, it doesn't happen. Anyway, though, here we go. We got Aaron Rodgers has 179 yards and 4 touchdowns. He definitely could get a Team of the Week card. Although, it's weird because 4 touchdowns is the reason why, but 179 yards is really not that great, especially against the Bears defense, who I don't want to say is bad, but it's just not the elite level defense. Jordy Nelson has 75 yards and 2 touchdowns. Other than that, of course, Adams did have 13 yards in the score. I believe he got hurt though in the third quarter, so it doesn't really affect his outcome of his performance. But nonetheless, Hollicle and DZ had 1 interception. Royce had 1 interception, 4 fumbles, 1 for Clay Matthew, which actually, I believe, if I'm correct, he got some record for that. Like, he had the most forced fumbles in Packers history. I believe that's what they said on the game. But anyway, nonetheless, though, 51 yards and 1 touchdown for KJ Wright. Very, very nice. That's KJ, right? I believe that's KJ. You do not see K right. But anyway, Jordan Howard had 53 yards and a touchdown. Very bad night for him. Obviously, he did get a garbage time score that gave him the gave him the touchdown. So fantasy-wise, he actually did something. Mike Glennon had 218 and a touchdown with 2 interceptions. Definitely not a nice night for him. Next game we have here is going to be the New Orleans Saints versus the Miami Dolphins. Go ahead and analyze this. We got Drew Brees, 268 and 2 touchdowns, 45 yards on 14 attempts from Mark Ingram, 89 yards and a touch for Mike Thomas, 71 yards and a touch for Kamara, who looks freaking amazing. Saints fans, Kamara is your future. And the thing is, it's kind of funny because Sean Payton said to Fox News, Fox Sports, my bad. He said that we're only going to start running with 2 running backs every single week. It's guaranteed at this point Kamara is one of the 2, and I think Mark Ingram's the second one. Meaning, Miss Adrian Peterson, you're done, bro. He's going to be cut most likely, especially with the fact that they're only going to run with 2 running backs. AP is done, man. Definitely done for AP. But anyway, other than that, though, no one else had a too crazy of a day on this side of the ball. Obviously, the interception by Qualley, but that's pretty much it. And we're just gonna leave this alone, this whole entire right side alone, other than 69 yards for Devontae Parker. Yeah, good job, Devontae Parker, but that's not what we're not really talking about that right there. Anyway, though, 23-17, Buffalo is 3-1. They lead the AFC East. New England Patriots are 2-2. Shout out to Carolina Panthers. I did not think Carolina was that good this year, and obviously they have proven me wrong. Cam Newton really just showed that every doubter that thought Cam wasn't good, they showed that, honestly, he is good. Nonetheless, though, we have 182 yards and a touch for Tyrod, 76 yards rushing for LaShawn McCoy, 112 for Charles Clay. Shout out to Charles Clay. I started him in Fantasy League. I needed a tight end, and I started him, and I was like, whatever. I'll just start him, and he did good. 2 interceptions from Micah Hyde. Other than that, that's it for Buffalo's side. Obviously, we'll get into the touchdowns that my man had. Nonetheless, there 1 forced fumble by Kazi on the other side for Falcons. 242, 1 touch, and 2 interceptions from Matt Ryan. 79 yards, 0 touchdowns to Coleman, but 58 yards and a touch for Freeman. 65 yards receiving by Coleman. And that is pretty much it. Now, of course, scoring-wise, we had a 52-yard fumble return for a touchdown by White. Bills fans, I watched that play. I watched it back many different times. That's not a fumble. It doesn't look like a fumble. If you guys have not seen the play, pretty much, I believe it was Matt Ryan threw the ball, and they said it was a fumble. Everyone was like not going for the ball. White picks it up, and he goes for a touchdown. So pretty much, okay, so imagine this, guys, if you have not seen the play. Matt Ryan sitting in the pocket. He looks, he throws the ball forward. It goes like 5 or 6 or 7 yards, and it hits the ground. Everyone's like, all right, whatever. Play's dead. I guess incomplete pass. White runs up and picks it up and runs it back for a score. Was that a fumble? I don't know. I get why they said it was a fumble, because as Matt Ryan was throwing the ball, the ball got hit out of his hand, and that's why they said it was fumble. Now, personally, with the tuck rule, I'm surprised they actually called that a fumble, because it looked like his hand was moving forward, but obviously, personally, I've only seen what NFL highlights have shown me. I've not seen like a close-up glimpse of his hand. It looked like his hand was moving forward, but obviously that's just based on what I have seen. I've not seen like the actual games. I don't know the replay of zoomed in. Pittsburgh ball. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know about this game. Steelers, good job winning. First off, second thing I gotta say is, when a receiver catches the ball and he goes to the ground, he is down by contact. If the ball comes out after the receiver's on the ground, it is not an interception. If you guys do not know what I'm talking about, Antonio Brown catches the ball. He goes to the ground, ball in hand. The ball was not moving at all when he was like going to the ground. Gets to the ground, knee is touching the ground, ball is in hand. Done. Down by contact. They blow the whistle. Well, apparently the refs and I'm a Ravens fan, but the refs for Baltimore have been drinking something bad, because after he is down on the ground, I believe it was Jimmy Smith who ripped the ball out, and then he rips it out, and I'm thinking to myself, well, that's stupid. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty. One thing, it was 3rd and 7, we stopped him. So with 3rd and 7, we stopped him, and then he rips the ball out. I'm like, that's stupid. Like, you ripped the ball out, that's pointless. Well, no, because apparently, when a guy's on the ground, plays dead, whistle was blown, the ball can get ripped out and thrown up in the air and intercepted by Weddle. First off, with that play, guys, one thing, he was on the ground. He was touched on the ground. The ball wasn't moving as he was going to the ground. The play's dead. Second thing, if that is an interception, that should be a touchdown for Weddle, because Weddle did return it for a touchdown, one thing. And if, I know the refs are like, well, the play was blown dead. Well, if that was a fumble, the play being blown dead would have been completely, not right. It would not have actually conspired, because the play was technically not dead yet. Nonetheless, though, you guys tell me down below, and I'm a Ravens fan, but I cannot accept bullcrap like that. Like, that was ridiculous. And even the announcer made fun of it the next pursuing drive, because Terrence West had a 2-point conversion, and they asked, was that an interception? It's a joke. That was a joke call by the refs. I know Pittsburgh fans must have been mad, because that actually almost put us back in the game. If we would have, after that play, Mike Wallace was, oh no, Brashad Perriman was wide open for a touchdown. Joe Flacco overthrows him. If he makes that throw, Joe Flacco, the game is at the time 10-19 with a pursuing 2-point conversion. Baltimore's back in the game. After he overthrows Perriman, next play later, Jeremy Mack was wide open. Joe Flacco, once again, if you guys do not know, I do not like Joe Flacco. But nonetheless, he sits there in the pocket, sits there. Mack was wide open in the end zone, waving his hand, and Flacco takes a sack. No, sorry, he checked it down to Watson. First off, again, now I know PJ said Ryan Shazier should get a card. No, he should not get a card. If you guys did not see the interception that he got, pretty much the play before that, Joe threw it right at Shazier, and Watson caught it right in Shazier's arms. Next play later, we run a screen pass, and for some godforsaken reason, our tight end Benjamin Watson's running to the right. Shazier is literally standing right in front of Benjamin Watson, and Joe Flacco still throws the ball right to Watson when Shazier is literally standing there. I can't give Shazier the credit for that interception when, I mean, he was literally just standing there. It's like literally pitch and catch. Joe just rolls out to his right, sees Shazier sitting there right in front of Watson, and throws it right to Shazier's gut. That interception was all on Joe Flacco. Shazier is a great player, one of the best linebackers in the league, but that was not on him there. That was Joe Flacco completely just throwing the ball right to the linebacker, which was pretty ridiculous. Other than that, though, Ravens' offense is completely putrid. The Baltimore defense is really freaking good. I mean, for all the situations, the average starting position for the Steelers in this game was the 40-yard line, and Baltimore only left 26 points, which that 26 points, pretty much the whole game, as you can see right here, was the 19 points. They left the whole game pretty much. They did score a touchdown in the end with Le'Veon Bell, who broke away a 1-yard score after Antonio Brown got to the 1-yard line. Nonetheless, you know. Joe Flacco, though, 235, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Oh, one more thing about this game, guys. At the end of the game, right, so the game's over. The Ravens can take 2 kneel downs and get out of there with like a minute left. The Ravens are running an offense down the field, calling timeouts and spiking the ball when they're down by, how much was this? They're down by 17 points with a minute left, and they're trying to run an offense. They're running plays, throwing the ball down, checking it down, throwing different routes. I get it, they're processing, but that's a joke. They're processing in a game that they're down by 17 when, you know, and those starters are on the field still, except for Chris Matthews. I believe Brashad Perriman was taken off the field for obvious reasons, and they put in Chris Matthews. Brashad Perriman, definitely a disappointment. Nonetheless, though, Alex Collins had a 60-yard run, which was a pretty nice run, which actually led the Ravens to their first score. 235 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. And the 2 interceptions came on back-to-back drives by Joe Flacco. Pretty much after he threw the pick to Shazier. What I believe either Shazier was the first or second pick, but it was back-to-back drives, those exact drives. Mike Wallace had 55 yards and 1 touchdown. 43 yards for Benjamin Watson. Alex Collins fumbled with the ball and lost it. Collins, I love and hate Collins because if you guys do not know, I kind of am a Seahawks fan a little bit. And when we had him with Seattle, he was great. He was so great behind Thomas Rawls. But the only issue with him was he would fumble the ball all the freaking time. The guy couldn't hold on to the ball. The third play he gets in Baltimore, we run him and he fumbles the ball. He has fumbled it now twice since we have gotten him, and we've only had him for 2 weeks. No, 3 weeks. 3 weeks, my bad. Other than that, though, we had an interception with Eric Weddle. Obviously, questionable interception. Ryan Shazier had a pick. Hilton had a pick, which the Hilton pick was actually tipped up in the air, I believe, by William Gay, and then it was picked up by Hilton. Hilton also had his first career sack in that same game. Pretty cool. Which, with our offensive line, there's not much to really talk about. Nonetheless, though, of course, Le'Veon Bell had 144 yards and 2 touchdowns. To be honest, he did get a lot of those yards in garbage time when we kind of gave up. We didn't like give up too completely, but at that last drive where he went down the field, right down the field on us, and then Antonio Brown got to the 1-yard line, we gave up defensively. I mean, it was after the interception by Joe Flacco. We gave up, man. 216 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception for Big Ben. Cap off to the Steelers. You guys played a great game. You guys, I mean, to be honest, I think defensively, if we had a better offense, it would have been a lot better of a game. If we actually had an offense, it would have been a lot better of a game. But defensively, you guys are really good defense, but you guys are such a good offense. I can't take anything away from the Steelers there. You guys won fair and square. I just wish we had an offense to compete with that game. The Ravens offense is a freaking joke. It's not even an offense, in all honesty. And it honestly, I even said yesterday, I was texting my friend, I said, I don't even care at this point the Ravens lose. I just want a good game. Just give me a good game. Don't give me a 26-9 game. I want a 21-24 game at least. And if the Ravens lose because we make a crucial mistake or someone doesn't get blocked right, you know, we don't give Joe Flacco enough time in the pocket, at least let me lose knowing that we had a chance. I don't want to lose a game where we have to get a bullcrap interception by the refs because, you know, I don't know if the refs wanted the game to be closer because people will stop watching or what, or the Ravens fans were leaving. But nonetheless, we need to have, like, I want at least a closer game than that, man. I'm not trying to complain in this video, guys, but that game was ridiculous. Anyway, the assault of the Cincinnati Bengals to the Cleveland Browns. I gotta give the Bengals a lot of credit here. I mean, they came into this game 0-3. They're going to Cleveland, where honestly Cincinnati never plays good in Cleveland. Usually Cleveland has their number in Cleveland, and then in the jungle, usually Cincinnati just runs wild against Cleveland and destroys them. Nonetheless, though, this is actually, you know, again, guys can look back when last time Cleveland, I believe Cincinnati did beat Cleveland before. I mean, a lot of times before, but I'm just saying, like, usually it's a closer game in Cleveland. Not this time. It was complete brutal assault. As you can see, it was 31-0 going to the fourth quarter, where Cleveland scored a garbage time touchdown. Cleveland is now 0-4, and Cincinnati's 1-3, so at least Cincinnati has something to look forward to. Deshaun Kaiser, 118 yards and 1 interception. Kevin Hogan also came in the game at 65 yards. 20 yards rushing for Cowell, 13 for Duke Johnson, and 10 for Kaiser. And right here we got Ricardo Lewis, 5 receptions for 64 yards. Going down the list here, we have no interception for the Browns. For the Bengals, we had 1 interception, but I'm not going to say your last name. 2 touchdowns by Tyler Croft, 68 yards. 1 touchdown by Bernard, 1 touchdown by AJ Green. 4 touchdowns for Dalton and 286 yards. Very nice. And the most rushing in this game was 29-29 for Mixon and Dalton. Wow. Nonetheless, though, we have the next game here being the Cowboys versus the Rams. I talked so much crap about the Rams before the season. I kind of feel bad now. But nonetheless, though, defensively, I actually have not checked that last game. But defensively, there was no touchdowns for this game. Dak Prescott, 252, 3 touches, and an interception. Zeke Elliott, 85 yards and a touchdown. Pretty much Zeke Elliott just went off this game. 98 yards, 0 for Dez. 54 and a touch by Zeke Elliott again. James Hanna had 26 yards and a touch. Bryce Butler had 12 yards and a touch. Other than that, though, nothing too crazy when it comes to this side. DeMarcus Lawrence had 1 forced fumble. Mark Barron had an interception, a diving interception. Very nice interception, to say the least. Todd Gurley had another crazy game with 94 yards and a touch, 120 yards and 0 touches, 255 and 2 touches by Jared Goff, and 60 yards and a touch by Cooper Kupp. Very nice game. Definitely, you know, altogether, very nice game for a lot of these players. Looking at this game we have here, Watson had put up 57 points. Obviously, that wasn't all Kaiser. Watson, oh my God, I'm like losing every single rookie quarterback in a row. Watson did not put up 57 points, though. They did have a fumble for 6, and that fumble for 6, who was it by? Or was it pick 6 or fumble for 6? Pick 6 by Derek Coleman. Not Derek Coleman. Something Cole. I do not know what his first name is. Anyway, though, 283 and 4 touchdowns. 1 interception. Tell me down below, guys. Do you want me to say touches for that one or touchdowns? I just say touches because it's easy, but I know some people don't like that. 75 yards and a touch for Lamar Miller. 24 yards and a touch by Deshaun Watson. 107 yards and 1 touch for DeAndre Hopkins. 56 and a touch by Lamar Miller. 1 interception by Gilchrist. And, of course, 2 interceptions by Hale. Other than that, though, wait, where did that where's Cole's interception? Oh, right here, Cole's interception, too. For the other side of the ball, we had an interception by Bynard. Other than that, nothing special. 96 yards, 2 interceptions for Mariota. 21 yards and 2 interceptions for Matt Castle. 2 touchdowns rushing for Marcus Mariota. He actually did also have a 34-yard rushing touchdown, which was pretty nice. Nonetheless, let's go on to the next ball game. Next game we have here is going to be Detroit versus Minnesota. Minnesota, we lost our starting running back, Dalvin Cook, for the year. At first, they said that he had a complete ACL tear, and then they came back and said, well, we don't know yet. We're going to get MRI. Today, it's official. He has a complete ACL. Oh, I believe it's an ACL tear. He's out for the season, guys. Latavius Murray is going to be the starting running back for the Minnesota Vikings. Really sucks because, you know, Dalvin Cook was really freaking good. And it sucks to lose a player with his talent and caliber of running back. But, you know, we'll have to move on. If you guys do not know, again, I am a Ravens fan. I have been a Vikings fan since I was about 4 or 5 years old. You know, when I grew up, I was in freaking love with John Randall. And that's why I was a Vikings fan pretty much since the beginning when I first, you know, was born, that area around that. So I am a Vikings fan. If you guys do not know, I am a Ravens fan. I do like, but you know, those two teams I would say I'm a real big fan of. I do like the Chiefs and I root for the Chiefs, and I do like the Seahawks and I root for the Seahawks, but I'm not like, you know, an actual fan. Like, I'm not like going crazy when they lose or stuff like that, like I am with the Vikings and the Ravens. Nonetheless, though, 219 yards for Case Keenum, 66 yards and 1 touch for Dalvin Cook, 98 yards for Stephon Diggs, 59 yards for Adam Thielen. Other than that, though, Dalvin Cook did fumble on the play he got hurt. Pretty much, you saw his knee bend back, and yeah. Other than that, though, nothing too insanely crazy. 2 sacks with Donnell Hunter. Now, on the other side of the ball, nothing crazy on defense. Offensively, they had 94 yards and a touch by Amir Abdullah. 209 yards for Matthew Stafford. Very decent game. Again, not much scoring there, so obviously there's not much to talk about. Carolina at New England. Shout out to Carolina Panthers for beating the New England Patriots. Alright, guys, so now let's continue to look at the Patriots. So we have Tom Brady, 307 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mike Gillisley, 49 yards and 0 touchdowns. Deion Lewis, 18 yards and a touch. 60 yards and a touch for Chris Hogan. Amendola had one heck of a game. Apparently in the final drive, when they tied the game, he just went off. Rob Gronkowski, 4 receptions, 80 yards, and no touches. Defensively, Malcolm Butler had an interception. Other than that, nothing too crazy on both sides. Of course, though, Fozzie Whitaker had a touchdown, receiving touchdown. Cam Newton had a rushing touchdown. 3 touchdowns and 1 reception, 316 yards for Cam Newton. Very nice game for him. It looks like no defensive touchdowns that I can see from here, so very, very nice day for him nonetheless. The next guy we have here is going to be Jacksonville versus the Jets, and the Jets won again. 2-2 Jets. Congratulations, Jets fans. You guys are doing good right now. Josh McCown, 224 yards, 0 interceptions. Bilal Powell, 163 yards, 1 touchdown, 93 yards and a touchdown for Lizzie McGuire. 59 yards for Robbie Anderson. 46 yards for ASJ. Defensively, we had an interception by Ely, but that's pretty much it. We had 2 forced fumbles, one by Fowler and one by, not going to try to say your last name. We had a receiving touchdown, 59 yards, and a receiving touchdown for Leonard Fournette. Other than that, though, nothing too crazy. Bortles had an average day at 140 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 reception. Next game we have here is going to be San Francisco versus the Arizona Cardinals that actually went to overtime. Interesting. Which is, yeah, field goal. So they won by a field goal in overtime. 357 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception for Carson Palmer. Jerron Brown had 105 yards. Very, very nice day for him. J.J. Nelson did nothing again. If you had him in fantasy, guys, you picked him up. Good bad for you. He is doing nothing now. Okay, Buffea. Is it Antoine? Antoine Buffea? Okay, I'm not going to try to say his name. I thought it was Antoine Buffea. Might be incorrect. He had 1 interception now and 1 forced fumble by Tyron Branch. Robert Armstrong had 1 sack and 1 interception. Of course, 2 sacks for Elvis Dunaville in that game. Receiving wise, nothing to talk about. Rushing wise, 68 yards for Carlos Hyde and 234 yards and an interception for Brian Hoyer. Other than that, though, no, it doesn't look like there's any pick sixes or anything like that. Pretty much just looked like a complete field goal game, pretty much. Next game we have here is going to be Philadelphia versus the Chargers. And the Chargers almost won this game. What the heck, man. Chargers are 0-4 now, though. Philip Rivers, 347 and 2 touches. Gordon had 22 yards rushing, but the backup, I guess, Elkler had 1 attempt for 35-yard score. Interesting, Keenan Allen had 138 yards and 0 touchdowns. Tyrell Williams had 115 yards and a touchdown. Other than that, nothing too crazy. And even this guy had 2 receptions. Other than that, no defense for the Chargers. On the other side of the field, we have forced fumble by Chris Long. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Receiving-wise, 81 yards for Zach Ertz. LeGarrette Blount had 136 yards rushing. Dang. 242 yards and a touch by Carson Wentz. Next guy we have here, and defensively, it doesn't look like there was any defensive touchdowns. So I think we are good on that front. Next game we have here is going to be Tampa Bay versus the Giants. Go with analyze game score. Let's turn that off. And Jameis Winston, 332 yards and 3 touches. Jaquez Rogers, 83 yards rushing. Doug Martin does come back next week. Cameron Brate, 80 yards and a score. Adam Daddy Humphries had 70 yards. 67 yards and a touch by Mike Evans. 63 yards and a touch by O.J. Howard. Defensively, forced fumbles wise, Chris Conte had a forced fumble. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Nothing for the other teams defensively for the Giants. 288 yards and 2 touchdowns for Eli Manning. And the Giants don't run the ball. Move on. 90 receiving yards for Odell Beckham. 62 for Evan Ingram. Very nice day for him. The Giants always lose such the closest games, don't they? They always lose when they could win the game, and it's a very, very close affair all the time. Always seems like the Giants lose those games. Trevor Siemian, 179 yards and a touchdown. 95 yards for C.J. Anderson. 75 yards and a touchdown by Darby. Other than that, though, nothing too crazy. Of course, they had some sacks. An interception by John Simmons. The other side of the ball, though, nothing defensively. Holton had 64 yards score on 1 reception. Roberts had 4 receptions and 49 yards. No rushing to be had. Marshawn Lynch is really done at this point. It seems like Derek Carr, though, did have 143 yards and a touchdown before he exited the game. Yes, he got hurt in this game, and E.J. Manuel took over. E.J. Manuel Team of the Week card? Probably not, but, you know, always a chance. Nah, E.J. Manuel Team of the Week card would be kind of cool, though. Not gonna lie. I'd probably rock that Team of the Week card. Most likely. Russell Wilson and the versus the Colts. 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. He also gave up a safety. Yeah, So this play was initially called an incomplete pass. Pretty much what happened was Russell Wilson the guy went around the left tackle, tackled Wilson, and as he's going down, he throws the ball away, but his knee did touch the ground and before the ball left his hand, so therefore it was a safety. Eddie Lacy, 52 yards. Carson had 42 yards. Carson looked really freaking good in this game, not gonna lie. Like, when he did get attempts, he looked good. 67 yards for Tyler Lockett, 65 for Paul Richardson, and 61 for Jimmy Graham. Defensively, we had one interception by Coleman, who actually got a pick 6 on that play. It's kind of funny. 2 weeks ago, I believe, him and Brissett were in New England together, and pretty much what happened was they were teammates and they were cool with each other. Then within 24-hour period, both of them got traded to different teams. Obviously, Coleman going to the Seahawks, and of course, you know, Brissett's going to the Colts. They got traded within 24 hours of each other, and Coleman got a pick 6 on his former teammate in this game. Coleman definitely will probably get a Team of the Week card. Fairley had one interception, and Hooker had one interception. Hooker should get a Team of the Week card. I know he already got one before, but he's been balling out this season. Receiving-wise for the Colts is a joke. Rushing-wise for the Colts is a joke. Brissett had 157 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And that's pretty much it for this game. Again, Coleman did have a pick 6. And, oh, sorry, my bad. That is the last game. So, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like button, subscribe, channel if you're new. Again, Team of the Week cards, I would go with Aaron Rodgers, probably as Aaron Rodgers and Clowney as the 2 masters. Other than that, though, as I've been saying this whole entire video with all these cards, the thing about Team of the Weeks is there's only, I think it's about 11 for offense, 11 for defense. So there's not too many like spots open, and so many great players have had great games. I think Jordy Nelson might get a card, but you have to remember, guys, a lot of times if a guy already has a good card or he got a pass Team of the Week, he probably won't get another Team of the Week card. So with that in mind, again, I'm gonna go with PJ on Zeke Elliott, not Zeke Elliott, Aaron Rodgers and what's his name, and Jadeveon Clowney, but it could be Zeke Elliott. You never know. But personally speaking, I think it's going to be a really awesome Team of the Week tomorrow. Whoever it may be, comment down below what you guys think. Who do you think is going to get Team of the Week tomorrow? Again, Aaron Rodgers and Clowney. And then, of course, defensively, other than that, though, you know, there's going to be a lot of great cards that comes out tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next one. Peace out.